Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is the Boom Bar right here on your Boom Radio NG. My name is Dolupo, and I'm here with a lot of gist, with a lot of talk today on the bar. We're going to be talking about quite a lot of things. There are quite a number of social media gist that we're going to be talking about. The vice president is the one in New York, and he's going to be the updates from that as well. There's a bit of the labor unions are at it again. Are there reservations this time? Are they valid? We will talk about that. Also, some people have been arrested. Apparently, there's some monies that they're saying that there's some power theft. We're going to also be looking at today. And all the way from Ibadan, the people of Ibadan, or more like the people of your state, are gearing up for the coronation of the former governor that is now the Olubadan, going to be the Olubadan of Ibadan in a couple of days' time. So that and a lot of other things we're going to be talking about today at the bar. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Like I said, my name is Dolupo, the one and only. And with me in the studio today is Shala Rajas.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the Boom Bar.
Okay, so we're going straight into the gist for today. Like I said, we're going to be talking about quite a number of things today. The Vice President, Kashim Shettima, is in New York representing President Tinubu. And then, looking at a lot of things, everybody was wondering why he cut his trip short in Europe, and then he came back to Nigeria because he was supposed to be going to New York from that, and then the vice president is this. Now that we know that the president is going to be in Ibadan. I'm not sure presidents go for Olubadan's coronations, but when you're the president's friend, why not if not? But before we get to that part, the vice president is set to deliver President Tinubu's national statement today at the 80th UN General Assembly. There's been a lot of conversation at this UNGA this year. One of the major talking points is the Palestine as a state. We saw, I think, UK and France accept them as a state. I saw, was it Thailand? And there's one other country that talked about, that they would only do that because if they renounce terrorism and they stop fighting with Israel and back and forth. So does not seem like a lot of people are on the same page with Palestine, even though it's a major talking point at the United Nations General Assembly this year.
Well, personally, I just want peace in the world. Anything that has to do with that country that their name starts with I. I know they talk. People were just sitting on their own the other day. Their phones started blowing up. How did you know their numbers? How did you know? Please, anything that has to do with that country. You people see, I didn't mention your name. She will mention it when she gets there.
Which one?
I want peace in the world. I want the people of Palestine and all their neighbors to be at peace. But there's a country that I don't mention their name. I don't want wala. Life is too short and too sweet, and it shouldn't be that short, but it's good. So I have enough enemies already. If inside this building,
but nobody's even saying that. Okay, what?
I've made it about me, actually.
I'm wondering too.
Personally, I do not talk about that country.
Which country?
That their name starts with I. You're asking me which country because I'm dumb. I will not answer you.
How did we get to this point?
This is how we got there. You picked a topic that you know that I am adverse to. My health is not disposed to discussing that country and anything that it does. Or sorry, with respect. See, I don't disrespect you people, uncle, brother, big country that is so powerful. That's all I have to say. But the bottom line is that we do want peace in the Middle East. Virtually all my life, we've had peace in the Middle East. It became a moniker at some time. Some people even made songs about it. There have been concerts. And this is 2025. And we're still talking that we want
really
peace.
Peace in the Middle East.
Do you understand?
At the end of the day, maybe that's really what you just thrive on.
That's a big question. This is your question.
So let's just, it's part of the world. Let's just move on.
Yeah.
Anyway, just wanted to put that out there.
But so before you move away from the United Nations and all of that, it's interesting how, we've talked about it more than once. The president of Nigeria, Bola Tinubu, was due to speak at UNGA, and rerouted his flight, came back to Nigeria, reinstated Fubara, whom he met with yesterday, and went to Kaduna, did a couple of other things, on his way to Ibadan in a bit, while the vice president goes to read a speech and represent Nigeria and the president at the United Nations. And I said this doesn't fit into the story of how people have been saying the vice president has been relegated.
Yeah.
It doesn't fit into it.
Yeah.
It doesn't. Because it's not, like I kept on saying, for Tinubu to just come back to Nigeria, something big was up somewhere. Maybe it is, maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was me overthinking and overanalyzing it. Maybe some of these things that we're just glossing over are big. Time will tell. But again, it's good that Kashim Shettima, and someone who I actually respect a lot as an orator, I don't think we've had anybody in government in the history of Nigeria that reads as much as that man.
Yeah.
I saw a picture of his library, his personal library. I'm like, I'm on this kind of place. I want to spend like 3 weeks there just reading and maybe sipping some tea.
Yeah. Tea indeed.
Cheers. Here's to the people who feel cold.
Tea indeed. Anyway, so moving on from that, the Central Bank of Nigeria, I was going to say that shout out to the chairman of the FIRS. I think it was a press briefing that he had yesterday, and he had quite a number of questions to they had quite a number of questions, and this is not even a shade on anybody or anything. I was just going to say that I like how he explains things. You know the thing that you see on Twitter where they say, explain to me like a 5-year-old?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. The executive chairman of the FIRS does that. And he explains a lot of things that, and it's really nice. And I think that it's a very good trait and all that. It's not in a way, it's not condescending. It's not like, it's trying to show that, okay, y'all don't know what you're saying. But yeah, I think it's a very nice trait. Just wanted to put that out there.
Okay, I'm not going to let that slide. She says that I'm not going. I want to respond to that too. Oh, sorry, not respond. I want to talk about it for a bit. So there's been a lot of disinformation and misinformation going on about the impending tax reforms. They've already been signed into law, and enforcement starts on the 1st of January 2026.
Yeah.
All the while, when the government pushed the agenda for tax reforms and everything, a lot of people didn't say anything about it, while there was a lot of pushback, especially from the northern governors, then the Senate and House of Rep. There was so much, you wouldn't even believe that, like, people within the APC pushed back a bit. What's wrong with this party?
A lot of governors.
So after all the reforms and the rejigging and everything, the law was passed. The laws were passed. The tax reform laws were passed. Nigeria's resources were restructured in a certain way, especially as it concerns customs and excise, the FIRS, and all of that. Now, the funny thing is, suddenly, there are experts, and I've said it before, everybody on social media is an expert, especially in things that they know nothing about. So there are a lot of experts now telling you how the tax is going to take your money. There's one guy, a Nigerian guy that's somewhere in Ghana, that tweeted about how if you send 70K, the person will get 56K.
Seriously?
Yeah. The guy parades himself as investigative journalist. Maybe he knows what we don't know.
But, really?
Oh, yeah. So what I'm trying to say in essence is that everybody's now an expert in tax reforms and everything. Mm-hmm. There's nothing bad in that if you are saying the right thing. But it's not. So that's why eventually the FIRS guy, the tax guy, the guy that championed the thing, like Tiwa, if I'm not mixing his name up, and they've been talking, but yesterday they had to have this media briefing, and there he called out a particular media house, being colleagues, I won't mention the name of the media house, but the video is out there, about how they're talking about things that they don't know about, and they're saying it boldly. Everybody knew who that stone was for, because you mentioned their name, but you said he didn't throw shade. Okay. He just didn't throw as big shade as you expected. All I'm just begging Nigerians to do at this point in time is that you really don't need to like the government, but always do your research and do a bit of research after your research so that you can actually get the facts. Be driven by facts, not just hearsay or downloading information off WhatsApp groups that were set up for God knows why. So I like the fact that they try to clear the air and break things down. But again, does it not also show that these agencies, these parastatals, this government, they're not doing enough about sensitizing and informing people? Does it not just show that they're not doing enough?
Could it also be that a lot of people are refusing? Why I said so is, so a lot of people that you see that put a lot of misinformation out there, they're not the people that you say, oh, then they do not have social media, they then do not have internet, and a lot of information is out there, like you said. The Mr. Tiwa Oyedele, I think I've seen him in a lot of press briefings, from TV house to TV house, explaining a lot of things. And I'm saying that I also feel that a lot of people that now have the opportunity to have this information are deliberately not getting it because they want to push a certain narrative.
So if you're doing enough, that narrative gets downplayed and watered down. I'm saying that, look, for instance, the opposition and the people who don't like the government will always push agendas, always, carry fake news. And some of those things are true, but a lot of them are not. So how do you counter it? Because one man went to one TV station to speak English, you will come to them and inundate them with information in their mother tongue, inundate them with cartoons, you reach different demographics. You get, there's a large chunk of Nigerians that like watching animes now. Who says there's something wrong with creating an anime that breaks down the taxes for Nigeria? Mm-hmm. The Nigerian singers who have large followership, as in, I'm just saying that, is there something wrong with inundating people with positive news and facts and figures beyond just sitting down in one TV studio or one press conference? That's what I'm saying. Break it down in Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba, TV, whatever language, whatever platform. Look, pay people to create drama that speaks to it. There are skit makers out there. Pay them to create skits that actually break things down. I'm saying, let people have plenty information. Then you will now see how, because information is power when people have it. And so when they have the wrong one, they don't know. Some people don't know. They just take it as, the government is going to take your salary away. They're going to, if you send money, they will remove 16,000 or you can.
Anyway, Sha, we definitely will follow it, but definitely be rest assured that right here on Boomba and on Boom Radio, we're going to be giving you updates, proper updates on things, and not misinformation. I'm just putting it out there. Anyway, so basically what brought about this conversation was even that the Central Bank of Nigeria has announced that external reserves had hit $43 billion now, and they're also saying that, remember the revaluation for banks or recapitalization, they're saying that about 14 banks have now met this capital requirements.
That's actually a big deal. It's a massive one coming from Nigeria's banking sector, because if the other time that there was a recapitalization, before that, I remember we had about 96 commercial banks. By the time they were done, I don't think we had up to 30 banks, because what happened was that there were mergers, there were acquisitions. Some banks even just went bust like that and all of that. But this particular time, the banks got the heads up and they started raising funds already for the ones that didn't have, the new recapitalization. As at the other one, I think it was from 200 million to 20 billion or something.
Yeah, so it was from 2 billion to 25
billion, yeah.
So now, for banks with international authorization, like the Zenith banks,
first tier banks and all that.
First tier banks, basically, they're supposed to have 500 billion naira as capital requirement. The ones with national authorization, 200 billion, and the ones with regional authorization, 50 billion. Merchant banks, 50 billion. Non-interest banks, 20 billion, and non-interest banks that are regional, 10 billion naira.
Yeah, so that's what it is. And look at how that actually helped the Nigerian economy, because it now meant that they could loan more money to people, they could expand their businesses. Even the banks got creative with the way they were, turning money around and all of that. So this is also a plus that 14 banks already can cross that threshold and say, yeah, we're qualified, to take your business to the next level. Eventually, I think Nigeria is going to be better off for it.
Yeah, so just want to put up there. There's been a lot of business news coming from about Nigeria, and it's looking like it's been good news for the past couple of weeks.
Yes, it is now, from the GDP, to the forex reserves, to the MPR, MPC, everything is just on the up and up, and these are facts actually. As much as, of course, a lot of people don't want to hear it, but these are facts. What we always appeal for at the end of all of these facts is that let government go the extra mile to let the man on the street feel it now. That really and truly, now that the economy is looking up, let the guy on the street feel it. And what are the basic things, that you need to put in place? You know them already, and those are the things that make life easier for each and everybody. So whoever the president is, the governor is, whoever is in charge of making life easier for people, if you focus on that, you will not need to campaign in 2027. No.
Yeah.
You will not. I know that for a large chunk of students now that have gone through NEL Fund, I've seen a lot of them actually make videos and say how it was government that made it easy for them to, graduate. Yesterday, the students in Yaba College of Technology were onboarded also onto the NEL Fund. And for those of you who don't know NEL Fund, it's Nigeria's platform for student loans.
Tertiary, yes.
And it's not as steep as the other countries, the way they run
they're non-interest loans. They're non-interest loans.
Non-interest loans. Again, you have a moratorium until you can start work and all of that. And because when you talk student loans, some people have PTSD for people who went to one particular country like that, to get student loans. So I think everything is on the up and up, and we'll stay bringing you, the good, the bad, and the ugly, regardless.
Before we leave business matters, I just wanted to put this out there, as FirstBank is set to introduce accessible financial services for blind and physically challenged customers. They're saying that they're looking at braille documents, voice-enabled ATMs, and tactile cards that would ensure physically challenged people to have independent and secure banking.
This is a big shout out to FirstBank. You get when Nigerian banks were going through a lot of security issues, they started installing these cubicles that is supposed to scan people and check people before you come into the banking hall.
Yeah.
And that thing might have worked for security, but it actually alienated a large chunk of
in fact, funny enough, I would say people. That with those their funny doors, I would say I think it's only FirstBank. FirstBank has
that.
Very big
that's the point I was trying to make.
They're the only ones.
So that's the point I was trying to make. That I'm giving them a shout out. They started building ramps at their branches, and they also allowed for people to gain access with wheelchairs. People with disabilities could access FirstBank branches because the cubicle that they went for was big. That's why I actually singled them out. And the reason why I'm doing that is based on the news that Dolupo just read now. And
can we change those nonsense doors?
The story very claustrophobic rubbish. It's good that now, beyond physical access, they can also get specific banking tools that will make life easy for them. You don't know what it is until you know someone or you find yourself in that situation. Virtually everybody has been at an ATM where someone, not physically impaired or not non-sighted person, not disabled in any form, but probably doesn't know how to operate an ATM.
Yeah.
And they walked up to you to say, please, can you help me?
Can you help?
Now, that has led to a lot of fraud. Some people have been defrauded by that means. But if a good person helps them, it's fine. But the best thing you can have is independence. So if you have physically challenged people, or maybe people who are hard of hearing, people just basically have different physical challenges. I'm trying to be politically correct, because some people will tell you, oh, they're not disabled, they're able, and I agree with them. Because, again, we need to be careful with the kind of words that we use. But now, wouldn't it be nice for someone to have a voice-activated, ATM, where he could go say, I want this, I want that, and it works. Some guy was tweeting about how beautiful his wife is and how loyal she's been to him, and how some person drove up to their house a few days ago. This guy was tweeting 2 days ago about how some elderly man was coming to ask his wife out, but that he's actually partially, he's blind, he doesn't see. And he was tweeting about it, and how his wife just came to tell him, and he was happy, and that he really loves and trusts her, and she's loyal and all that. And on all of that, the thing that people picked on was, how can a blind guy be tweeting? As what people picked on. And
are you in 1992?
And the guy said they should go and check his pinned tweet, and he explained it more than once. So people don't know that there are tools that allows people who are partially sighted or who are.
So this thing that you said, I didn't realize how advanced some things can be.
Yeah.
Until I remember there was a professional course I was doing a couple of years ago, and would I say it took me like about 2 weeks being in that class to realize that there's a particular guy that was actually blind. How don't you know? People will take pictures and send it to him, and you say, oh, okay. And how did he become popular in class? He did Photoshop. And then the day someone had said, oh, he is blind, I'm like, no. How does someone that is blind, you see him with his laptop and his phones, and like, it did not even occur to me. And then the funny thing is that you see him, his glass, he doesn't even have black frames. John, I said, so you don't even know. It took me 2 weeks to realize that, and he actually did beautiful Photoshop. So you can, if someone, and that was a couple of years ago, how would you now say someone is tweeting? How do you
Yeah, well, so that's what it is. So once again, a big shout out to FirstBank and any other corporate out there that's looking out for people. And I actually ran a campaign on radio way back when we were on Radio Continental, where we used to push for disabled access. And you find out a lot of people can't get on buses. They can't even gain access to church or the mosque because of the way some of those buildings have been constructed. And it's really not fair on anybody.
Yeah, at the end of the day. Anyway, so basically, we hope that more people, like you had said, will put this on their front burner. Now, moving on from that, we're going all the way. Oh, you know what? Let me go to Oyo State. First things first. For people that are going to Ibadan in the next couple of days, the president's advance team has already arrived in Ibadan for Olubadan's coronation on Friday. I think it's his birthday today or tomorrow or something. But there's been a lot of events that have been going on already. Now, there's also traffic advisory saying that there are some roads that will be closed as early as 7 a.m. The routes including Bere Junction, Inward Mwapoho, Bonfoto Junction, Inward Ojaba, Idiarere Junction, Inward Ojaba, and Itamerin Junction, Inward Mapoho. They're saying that these routes are only going to be open for the president and the governor.
And for pedestrians, people can actually walk through, because the ceremony will not be complete without the people of Ibadan. But park your cars at home or wherever you are. And if you know that part of it, especially that barrier access, just don't even...
I'm not even sure. Are you even sure you want to walk?
If you really like yourself and you don't like traffic, in fact, leave Ibadan until next week. I'm telling you.
It's interesting. They're saying that people that have valid invitation cards, they're designated parks where they're getting shuttle buses to move people to Makpo Hall. So don't pedestrians self don't go there if you don't. I'm saying my own now. If you don't want,
what's a coronation without the people, though? Invited or not, I'm just telling you that people will still find their way.
The president is coming, so
yeah. But just picture if you shut everybody out, the thing is going to be dry. That's the fact. So I know that they're going to have their way of managing the crowd.
But would we say that is because it is the pressing? That's why there's so much. Because in the past, like 2-3 years, there have been like 3 coronations of Olubadan, and we've not had this much.
There was a couple of years ago. There was this. There's this massive Christian concert that happens in Lagos every end of the year. Massive, and I was privy to someone close to the organizers and the top man in Nigeria at that time, where the president actually wanted to go, and the organizer said, "Please don't come." Like, they were being nice about it. Don't stress yourself. Because if he had insisted that he was going to that event, everything changes. Everything changes. Whatever security that they think they put in place is a joke. You understand? So, of course,
from today,
when there's executive...
what you are doing,
when there's
don't
executive
move anyhow.
movement, when there's executive movement,
don't move anyhow in Ibadan.
Everything changes.
It's funny how the planes are officially landed in the Ibadan airport today.
Yeah,
is it coincidental? But
no,
the president is obviously landing.
No, I think Rashid Ladoja, His Excellency, is one man that the stars have aligned for. Everything has just fallen into place for him. I don't think there's anybody in the history of this country that was a former senator, a former governor, that now became a king. But I stand to be corrected, though. I'm not saying I know it all, but in his own case, you just see how things fell into place. When he was governor, he was impeached by his own party because it was the PDP that had a president then. And the way the man was impeached was very funny. They just had area boys coming to the assembly and they impeached someone that is not even the speaker, impeached a governor.
In this country. They have.
And it took this president, who is in the opposition, Bola Tinubu was AD then, to actually get his legal team to make sure that Ladoja was returned as a PDP governor. So I said the stars have aligned for him. The people who impeached him have gone to bow down to him. The person who helped him is coming to add some kind of presidential color to it. At the end of the day, you just look at Ladoja and you say, after all the drama and things that happened, that it probably would have become Olubadan today, the stars have really aligned. And congratulations to the people of Ibadan for keeping that institution structured and alive, because its movement up now has also affected a lot of people in the succession plan of Ibadan.
Yep.
There's no royal system in Nigeria, or let me limit it to southwest Nigeria, that is as structured as the Olubadan's stool.
It is very, very, very interesting. So basically, like I had said earlier, the international airport is officially also landed the first plane today. So I'm guessing maybe the president will also, land there as well.
If Ibadan,
if the president is landing there,
if Ibadan, it's not a good thing, though.
I'm thinking about
it's not.
The president is landing. If the president goes to land at Alakia, Makpo
it's far now.
What?
So they're going to shut down the whole Iwo Road.
If you like yourself, don't go out on Friday.
Even if they are
nice. They should probably even announce a public holiday on Friday.
They are nice, the security people, and there won't be, there's a way to detour through Old Ife Road to get to Bere, but they won't do that. They will take the straight road down. Back way now. So once again, stay in your house.
Yeah. The governor should
watch it. It's going to be on TV.
The governor should actually, what's he called? Probably should announce a public holiday on Friday. He's a former governor that is becoming an Olubadan. So, and the president is coming. So,
again,
sit at home.
Again, for people who are business minded, now that the Ibadan airport has been upgraded to an international airport, if you have a business, because Ibadan is a party town, it's time to go and build a few hotels around that place and event centers. Just picture flying into Ibadan for a party, and you just drive 5-10 minutes, you're at the venue, and you fly back again. Think about it. See, I'm giving you people free nuggets to make money now. They're about to passion, remember how.
Anyway, moving on from that, so just wanted to put that out there. By the way, a lot of people have been going on, or somebody started this conversation on Twitter about Nyesom Wike's son not attending law school and then he's now been called to the bar. And now a lot of lawyers have come out to say, that if there's no other school in Nigeria that you can talk about the credibility, that the law school, that you sit down in the same class with governors and former governors and senators, and that you actually have to have at least 70% attendance for you to even sit for the exam in the first place.
So I saw the guy's tweet, and what the guy had done was to basically just cast aspersions on Wike's son, because there's a picture. There are pictures of Wike, his son, and his wife, who are all legal people anyway.
Yo.
And the boys' call to bar was yesterday. And the guy was like, if there's anybody that can show him a picture of this guy in class, he has a gift for them. And that's what led to the virality of that post, because even people who did not like Wike started telling him, no, not the Nigerian law school. There's a minimum requirement that you must meet to graduate. Even if you pass all the theoretical aspects of it, if you do not have a minimum of 70% attendance. They talked about how some guys even talked about how they used to thumbprint their attendance 3 times a day. Some lawyers claimed that and everything, and so basically not every agenda will agenda. But again, the guy has succeeded in casting a lot of aspersions on the Nigerian legal system, Nyesom Wike and his family, and I wouldn't be surprised if they decide to take him up on it.
Yeah, it looks like some people are already taking him up on that matter, because I see that there's some sort of apology. I think I saw that earlier, so talking about, people are taking some things out of context. Because I saw a tweet where someone said, no, that you cannot now be forming victim at this point. You said what you said. Don't come up.
Let me point something out. The difference between, let's say, Twitter, for instance, social media. A couple of years ago, when you make a mistake, you delete the post. You apologize and you delete it. But since people started getting paid
on Twitter,
for impressions, some people deliberately put out wrong information. You get? Then they get all the buzz, and then they go under that thing to write what that guy wrote, to say, we're sorry, he was taken out of context, blah, blah, blah. But they never delete the original post that caused the problem.
But you
go check it. You keep checking it, and you see, it's got 4 million views. It's good. And you go and check the person. If he has a blue verified marker, the guy knows what he's doing.
So I'm not saying
some of them start plugging. You know what they start doing? They start plugging business. This is what I do. Meanwhile, you just wrecked someone's career with some lie and everything.
You will do
that guy's
like I say,
non-apology.
You will do
the apology that I refer to, I read it. It's not an apology. It's not. It's not an apology. And why apologize alone when you can also delete?
You will go to jail.
It is what it is.
I feel that a lot more people should be sent to jail for their. Don't let me see the word that's coming in my head. Anyway, moving on for that, since we are talking about social media anyway, there's a particular TikToker that has now been arrested for accusing the Nigerian senator for having ties with terrorists.
Okay.
Yeah, basically that's it.
Yeah,
he has been arrested.
Who is the TikToker? Who is the senator?
I would look for it.
Where are they from?
Ishaq Abubakar Major,
okay.
I think is accused Senator Shehu Buba
from
Bauchi State.
That's Bauchi, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, 2 things, or it's a 2-way street. I wish we had a country where people were not arrested when they say these kind of things. I wish we had a country where, I'm speaking my mind. I wish we had a country where when anybody says this kind of things and you feel it is wrong, you sue the person appears in court and shows proof that, yes, I said what I said and this is the proof. Now, still in line with my wishes, if you now come to court and you cannot prove it, then you get arrested. Then you do time. So I am not encouraging people to go out and tell lies against people or make spurious claims that they cannot in any way back up. I am saying that we should have a legal system and a criminal justice system that allows people their day in court, but that guarantees judgment and justice. And justice does not necessarily mean the accuser or the accused. It just means the right thing. Like, oh, you say someone has ties with terrorists. Maybe you have videos of him meeting with them. Maybe he even has bank accounts of where he sent money to terrorists. We don't know. So, but we're quick to get angry when they get arrested. We're quick to get angry when they say, me, I know they vex. My own is, yo, you said one senator did something. All right, Mr. Chairman, prove it.
You will do jail.
Prove
Again,
it. If you can't prove it.
If you cannot. Keep quiet.
You understand?
Or you will do jail.
But I don't like it.
Government bins. Okay.
I don't like it when people just get arrested. I'm not saying, in fact, if you like, Shebi, we have platform here. Why am I not saying nonsense? I can't now because I have sense.
Because you don't use government bins.
Yes, I have sense. Even the beans where they are, I never chop them. Not to talk of the one way that they cook with plenty water. As we heard, though, because they will say, how did I know now? But
what are the same kind of business to cook in what's it called? NYSC camp.
Oh, so you are ascribing that program to a prison camp?
I swear.
You will not. You are the one that will do jail. You.
The experience that I had.
So have you been to prison to know that it's the same?
I don't need to.
Are you still standing on that, or you are just joking? Let them know you are joking. Issue a disclaimer now.
That's what.
The
experience that I had, though,
is what?
I don't know how prison. If prison is worse than that, I'm so sorry for you. Don't do anything that will like
public
you.
Service announcement.
Don't do anything that like
she don't mean it like that. You understand? What she's just trying to talk about is that it was a bad experience in camp for her. You know, for those of them that wanted to eat.
Week,
for those of them that wanted to eat.
I was crying every morning. Once that beagle comes up,
that's why they shouldn't let babies go to camp. Stop allowing babies to graduate from university. This little child went to camp as a child. So what do you expect? You see, but you saw those of us that were Okiri, that where we enter camp. What am I doing? We did not eat the camp food.
I didn't eat camp food, but it was still horrible.
And you still cried?
Yes.
You have problems.
Yes, yes.
Sorry, you have problems.
Yes, I cried.
Cry, say waiting apple. I beg. You know, so back to the matter. We are just saying that anything you say, you must be ready to prove it. So you say a senator has ties to terrorists. Maybe that information will help, curb the terrorism in Bauchi State and Nigeria by extension. But bros, Mr. Uncle Dr. Major, that's his name. If it not be, say you get fact,
you go to jail.
You go out, you
will go to jail. Anyway, moving on from that, still talking about social media and a lot of things that happen. So there's an interview that I came across, and it was Nigeria's female musicians, Tiwa Savage, and one of the questions she was asked, which I don't think that matter is ever going to go ever in this life. She was asked about a sex tape of hers that came out a few years ago. And I think for the first time, she officially now had put out a lot more information. And she said that at that time, the person she was actually dating that person, had said that he mistakenly posted it instead of saving it on Snapchat.
We heard that story.
Again, I say, I don't know how Snapchat works, so I can't say for example. But when you tell me that you mistakenly post something and you are supposed to save it, that story has comma. However, she now went further to say that she later now found out that it was actually a bet, so he did it purposely. There was no, which now ties into the fact that when you tell me that you mistakenly sent it instead of saving it, it's a lie. But my question is, again, because I know we had this conversation before we got on the show.
No, go ahead.
How are there so many immature human beings, because I would say that at least whoever it is that she was dating, it's probably maybe at least in his 20s. At least you're not a child.
Dolupo, what's your definition of maturity? Let's start from there. So posting a video online that created a lot of buzz is immaturity.
Yeah.
Now, I do not support that action, but that's Dolupo's definition of immaturity.
Yeah.
Okay, this is it. Let's start from the spiritual angle of this story. The Bible says, do not be unequally yoked.
Okay.
I will just take that extract out of context. But yes, do not. Tiwa on her own, why should they date that kind of person?
But at times you might not know that the person you're dating is horrible.
Okay.
It's just a horrible
That's one.
human
Two,
being.
you did not know.
You might not know. Actually.
Why did you allow them to record you and him?
On that
things?
one, I don't understand the fact that people think that it's okay to make this kind of things.
Wait now. Be calming down.
I'm replying you.
Just wait. Don't worry. You will reply. You can reply. You said he might not know the kind of person he's dating. Now, if she doesn't know, why did she allow the thing to be recorded, or why did both of them allow themselves to be recorded? Look, listen now. You said they wanted to save it, meaning that there is no coercion. It was two consenting adults who decided to make porn.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you wanted it to be for your eyes only. Your eyes mean 4 eyeballs, but it became million eyeballs because.
So I don't get. Sorry, wait. After you make the video, you put that sit down on television be watching it.
You can ask them when you see them.
What's the idea behind even making the video?
You will continue to ask until you see them. They would answer. They are the ones that have indulged. All I'm just trying to say in essence is there's no sentiment here. Break it down. I love Tiwa Savage to a fault. Tiwa Savage. I love the babe guy. But I'm saying you shouldn't be saying with that kind of guy in the first place. That's one. Two. Now, she claims that some people don't know the people they are dating. I agree. But if you don't know the people yet, how do you get to the point where you are making videos together? And it's porn. Because sex tape is just a nice way of calling it. Some people did sex tape and became billionaires anyway. Yeah, somewhere in America. But what I'm trying to say in essence is, why do you go that far with someone you're not really sure of?
Even if you're sure of it, at the end of the day, don't make these tapes. Don't.
I personally get privy to a lot of information that I would never divulge to anybody. And this is just me. You get? So I think maybe that's why people still keep confiding in me. Do you get? So I'm saying that if you cannot perceive how much of a
stand-up guy
the person is, please don't go that far with anybody.
Don't even go that far with anybody at all.
No.
Don't make those tapes.
See,
if you don't have a tape, there will be nothing to share.
In this world that we live in, if you marry the same energy, if you are on the same page, whatever works for you.
True. That's actually also
There are couples that enjoy fighting themselves.
Oh.
Yes, they enjoy fighting themselves. They will para. But the minute a third party just says, hey, you two, okay, out. I'm saying it's the same energy. There are people who would say, I had a friend's wife tell me once, she was confiding in me, we were talking about stuff, and she's like, look, she already has 2 children, that whatever my friend wants to do, you should go and do. And we thought she was playing, and she didn't care. And the sad part is this idiot, for a period, was enjoying the fact that his wife was nonchalant about him. But we called him to other one day and said, do you know what this also means? It's a big wedge between you and her. Because eventually, it shows that she don't send you. She's just living in the house. She's going abroad. She's doing everything. And you think it's fine. But again, you're supposed to respect your wife. Do you understand? Mm-hmm. The fact that she has not even looked away does not mean you should overdo it. So I'm saying that whatever works for you as a couple, do you know how many times people have given their friends advice and they go home to do the exact opposite?
Yeah.
It's whatever works for you. my husband cannot try this with me. Oh, it's a lie. Oh, she gets home and before the husband is back, she's already running water and cooking and doing everything and massaging the chair that he will even come and sit down on. Yes. So whatever works for you, whatever energy, please. This is relationship advice. We're going to be doing this more often now.
We will.
Yes. Maybe relationship Tuesday or relationship Wednesday.
I don't have any
now you know
advice for anybody.
It's bar. It's a bar. We will be discussing. We can't be talking all this thing every time. We'll be doing one day of the week. Because I do. Whatever you have, you don't worry.
Because people don't have sense.
Fola will join us and we'll be talking. we to be very honest with you, I mean, look, I just had to drop it like that. I'm sorry. We're going to be doing once a week now. We'll talk more about, we've saved a lot of stories on social media and we're going to be bringing them in and talking about
and
it.
People don't have any sense of it.
We're going to be doing that at least once a week now. Maybe relationship Tuesdays or relationship Wednesdays or something funny like that. But the bottom line is that we need to also do this. It's a public service, Dolupo. You know, honestly.
So stop making sex tips.
Yeah. To be honest. But if you have to, just stop. If you have to, you know your advice is valid. I'm not countering your advice, so don't get me wrong.
Because once you don't have it, there's nothing to share.
If you have to, make sure that the person that you are doing it with, you're on the same page.
What if you fight with the person?
See, you don't understand. Let me tell you something. You have sex tape on your phone of you and your partner or God knows what. Then you give the same phone to somebody to say, look at this car that I snapped that I'm trying to make. Do you know how dumb people are? Not dumb.
Exactly my point. So if there's nothing
I can't count the number of times maybe I've given someone my phone to say, this is what the dress looks like. Through. By the time you get your phone back, the guy is on like 40-something pictures.
Exactly.
What really happened? What's really going on here?
Don't put it there.
You know? So please don't. But if you have to, ensure that the person that you're doing it with is someone that you know is strong enough, you know, that regardless of what happens to your relationship, will protect you.
The person has sense. That's it.
And
something I used to say
will protect.
On this bar, have sense. That's it.
It's important that we do these things, please.
Anyway, so just moving on from that quickly. We also wanted to put this out there as labor unions are now rejecting federal government's plan to allegedly sell stakes in their joint ventures. So Pengasan and Nupeng are now talking about how there's an alleged plan for the federal government to sell off some of its stakes in joint ventures with international oil companies operating in the country. And companies operating in the country. And I'm like, is the federal government that wants to either sell or, which they are saying that is an alleged plan. Nobody knows for that for sure. But what's your headache? Why is Nupeng and Pengasan and all these why are they having headache over other people's or taking Panadol over people's headaches in like the past 1-2 weeks?
There's more than one way to look at it. It's their job as a union to protect their members. If some of those decisions will affect the members of their union, they have to speak up. At times, they extend this mandate that they have to other matters also as it concerns Nigeria, because if they were not that big now, we won't be discussing it. If they didn't jump on it, you understand? So they have a big platform that they're using to highlight things. So I get where they're coming from. But on the flip side, we also notice that a lot of times they can also be influenced by other forces.
Yeah.
Be it the opposition or businessmen that policies do not work for. I'm not saying they have been, but I say they could be. Let's be clear. You see? So, on the one hand, I hope that they put Nigeria first. On the flip side, maybe it's a survival instinct for them.
Maybe.
Knowing that some of these policies might not augur well for their structures.
Funny enough, some of these things, when I see some of these things, it just occurs to me that, okay, it looks like there are quite a number of things you probably get away with because some of these companies maybe are owned by the government or partly owned by the government. When it becomes properly private, there are things that you won't get away with anymore.
Let's also be careful here. Myself, Dolupo, I know. There's no guarantee that everything that government does is right. If it's true that they're trying to steal their stake in some JVs, they could be wrong. Government could be, and there are times when we've seen them retrace their steps. They take decisions and they go back and say, you know what, we listen to you guys. This thing that we are doing, we're not doing it anymore. Do you understand? So again, you also need these unions from time to time, if they are correct, to say the right thing. You know what I'm saying?
Your volume does go down.
I say they are correct.
Okay. I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, 14 suspects have been arrested by the police after they uncovered a 4.8 billion naira Kainji Power Plant Theft.
Wait, this story, you need to give us more information. 14 people trying to steal something worth 4.8, or the plant is worth 4.8 billion.
Oh, no. There is a massive theft and vandalism that is said happened at Kainji Power Plant, valued at about 4.8 billion. And this a staged kidnap, designed to extort about 7 million naira ransom. So yeah.
There's 7 million ransom on the side. Then there's a 4.8 billion naira worth of vandalization and theft.
Yes.
Okay. If it's true that this happened, I need to put the rider if. I have been advocating for a special kind of court that these cases are expedited. So let's just assume that we finally get that kind of court. I don't even think this kind of people should be, sentenced. You send them to prison, they'll be eating government food, they'll be wearing government uniform, sleeping on government bed. Someone that stole money, you now still be taking care of them. So I have suggestions. If government is interested, they should reach out to me.
Wow, what are those suggestions?
They can expedite their punishment.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I have suggestions. It will not cost government anything.
Oh, that's nice. Anyway, update from the NSIB. That's the Nigeria Safety Investigation Bureau. They're saying that they confirmed that with the Abuja-Kaduna Train Derailment, 21 people got injured, but thankfully there are no deaths. However, they're saying that poor maintenance and faulty track switch actually caused the derailment. So now there's an indictment on the NRC.
This is a good report.
Yeah, which I think that is good. Let everybody know.
This is good because to prevent this from happening, there has to be facts being said. Proper information is out now. So the Railway Corporation has failed in its duty to convey people from point A to point B safely.
Yeah.
Thank God no lives were lost. But some people, 21 people injured. That's a lot. I saw images of the train, and I'm assuming that was the train that everybody's using, and everything went belly up, and I'm like, this is dangerous. Just picture yourself for 1 minute on that kind of train. It's scary.
It is scary.
So please, what does it cost you to do your job as at when do? There was a time when people didn't even have one single train running and you all still get paid. Yeah, but now that there's work, do it.
Get it done. Get
your job
quickly. Now, moving on quickly from that, our thoughts and prayers are with people of Asia as Typhoon Wagasa is really doing a lot of havoc. It's moved from Taiwan and Philippines. I think about 17 people are said to have died in Taiwan. About over 1,000 people are still missing. The Philippines is not getting any better. Now it has now hit Hong Kong and southern China.
Yeah, I heard it made landfall in China, and I'm like, Jesus, this is some scary stuff.
It is. It definitely is some scary stuff at that point. The elections that happened in Malawi, apparently the president lost the election, but he's now considered defeat and is pledging peaceful transfer of power.
That's not the real story, so it's good that who is he transferring power to? That's the real story. Africa, my Africa. Young Africans need to wake up. That's my advice. But I'm not saying age bestows upon you the right to do anyhow.
Yeah, we've seen those things. We've seen those things a lot, actually.
But,
we really have seen a lot of times
it's
that
a funny
age
story.
really does not mean that you have sense still. You are young, it does not mean you have sense.
No, at all.
Anyway, there's also now been talks that an HIV prevention drug is set to be available for about $40 from 2027.
So Okay, no, don't do it, Shola. It's a good thing. It's a good thing
It is.
in the health sector that now something that was more or less like a death sentence in court, because people have HIV and live with it for years. For some people, it becomes AIDS. Now has a cure. You get
Prevention.
prevention, cure, you all join. You understand? So because the mode of prevention now is not 100%.
The mode of prevention is 100%.
Which
Don't
is
be flying all over the place.
no, that's not prevention.
That's prevention.
That's abstinence. We get that.
Is abstinence not prevention?
Prevention that we're talking about is condoms.
Okay, be doing nonsense about. You will just buy.
The condoms are what even US AIDS and Nigeria AIDS, all of them been giving out to people,
Okay.
right? So now they have
Best
something
form
that is better.
of prevention is abstinence.
One, I agree with her 100%. She's right. But the one that people do is that they say don't sleep around.
Yeah.
And if you have to do, stick to one partner. But if you cannot hold body,
What body
these
is-
are government adverts.
What body is in your body that you cannot hold? What's in your body that you
Dolupo,
cannot hold? Okay.
You can say
hear
all
you.
you want.
Okay. Oh.
I am quoting verbatim a government promo back in the day. And if you know if you hold body, use condom.
No,
Now they are saying that by 2027, they have something better than condoms that you can use to prevent HIV, which means eventually we would have a cure. Which that's what it means, you know. Many moons ago, people were dying from malaria. Sadly, some people are still dying from malaria, but now we know that malaria can be cured. There is a cure for it. In fact, there are several cures for it. There are some medical situations and conditions that are being cured now that many years ago, once you have it, just go and book your final resting place.
Anyway, finally, before we go, President Tinubu is really going on about it and is really hoping that Nigeria hosts Commonwealth come 2030. He's really championing this matter.
Well, it's 2025 and Nigeria has done it in the past where we get hosting rights for a global event and we pull it off. We have 5, 6, 7, 8 years to get this one. They have barely 5 years to get ready, because if it's as of today, Nigeria cannot host Commonwealth Games.
Cannot host anything.
They can't host it.
Cannot.
The national stadium in Abuja is not in a great shape. It was used to host Africa many years ago, and since then it's been topsy-turvy. Recently we hosted the national games in Abuja-Kaduna. So at national standard, some of those facilities are good, but when you're talking international now, they
Internationally.
might not even meet the standards you get. So if he's saying that, that means they're ready to spend a lot of money on infrastructural development, and maybe, just maybe, that would have a national spread, because Abuja would definitely be the main base, but they would need other stadiums in Enugu, in Port
Yeah, 'cause
Harcourt,
a lot of
Kano,
things will have
Kaduna,
to go.
Ibadan, Lagos, and all of that. So maybe just maybe they would say let Africa host for
You
the
can
first time.
actually do that. Anyway, on that note, that is all we able to take today on the bar. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. We'll be back again tomorrow at 3 p.m. West African time to give you another wonderful edition of the bar. You want to say something?
Remember what Dolupo said, and I want to emphasize
What did I say?
Please, Dolupo, it is correct. She's 100% correct. Abstinence is the best way to keep clean and healthy. But like government also said,
God.
if you know if you hold body, use condom.
Have a beautiful, beautiful day.